Phyllis has really done it this time, and that's saying a lot for the young and restless character who once drugged and raped Danny, passed off another man's child as his and ran down Christine in cold blood. That though was all early, fairly unstable Phyllis. What she's done now almost feels worse because she has, for all intents and purposes, betrayed her daughter. First, Phyllis decided that faking her own death and disappearing forever to frame Diane would be the smart move. But she backtracked on that almost immediately and revealed herself to Summer. And that's when things got even worse as she dumped the whole thing on her daughter to figure out what to do. We here at Soaps.com got into a bit of a spirited debate over who was the worse mom, Phyllis or Diane. We didn't come to a consensus, but let's just say that the feelings ran strong. So naturally we decided to turn to the fans and ask on Facebook whether Phyllis should be forgiven for faking her own death. And you answered. Boy, did you answer. If we were hoping for a clear winner in this argument, we were sorely mistaken. But with over 400 responses and counting, we definitely stirred up some feelings. There were, we'll admit, a lot of yeses. Phyllis has been a main character for decades, so we get it. It's hard to turn on her. Yes, Donna Adams replied. Victor and Chloe were forgiven, why shouldn't she be? A lot of people in Geno City have done a lot of things and were forgiven. Actually, we're pretty sure a lot of people in Geno City have faked their own deaths, not just Victor and Chloe. And when put that way, Phyllis' forgiveness seems like a given. Some viewers, like Bobby Malshpour, were full of empathy for the redhead. Phyllis was blinded by hate for Diane to the point that it literally drove her over the edge, she wrote. She teamed up with a man who talked her into doing his dirty work for him. Stark is the one who fed the hate with his idea to frame Diane, knowing that Phyllis was desperate to get rid of her. I think she could almost claim that she was temporarily insane for what she did. She should be forgiven, but she should also get some help for her obsession with Diane. Perfect scheme team. Sally and Adam from The Young and Restless are made for each other. Cindy Cerese Longo said yes, but then offered a plot to make sure folks wouldn't have to forgive Phyllis. Because she wouldn't even be at fault. She should just say Jeremy drugged her to make it look like he killed her so he and Diane could go away together. But it backfired. Clever. Shift the blame away from Phyllis and there'd be nothing to forgive. She'd just be a tragic victim. But there were also a whole lot of pretty darn vocal no's, and a lot of those responses boiled down to the fact that Phyllis is now no better than Diane. She may have failed to successfully run off, but she certainly tried to pull the exact same stunt as her nemesis, sinking, more or less, down to her level. Shauna Hudson essentially spoke for the no, because she was a horrible mother crowd, writing, absolutely not. I'm not sure what she was trying to accomplish. Yes, frame Diane, but her kids were already upset with her, and faking death should not help. Rose Busby dove all the back to Phyllis' origins and just said, nope, Phyllis was brought in to be the villain. Let her own it. And that's fair. Heck, that's even how we started this article. At this point, we guess that about the only thing folks can agree on is that Phyllis did a bad thing, mostly.